Hi guys, and welcome back to Santa's Workshop, also known as Sapphire Arts. And today I am making a wooden spoon out of black walnut. This is a native black walnut to Oregon, the Pacific Northwest area. And so I apologize for the shaking. There's a little shaking in the video, and I am trying to improve the supports for our cameras just to kind of improve that part of it. So yeah, there's a little note that pops up here while I am cutting out this spoon blank. It's just so that people understand that some of the film is sped up and we're not actually moving that quickly. As always, remember, this is for entertainment purposes, and I do not advise you to take this as a method with which to work in your workshop, in your wood shop. But yeah, it's just a disclaimer, because we gotta disclaim things, So yeah, you're looking at me cutting out a blank for a black walnut spoon. Got some wood from a buddy of mine, Charlie. I call this machine my shaper, and we're getting the sandpaper. Sandpaper on here is 60 grit. That means 60 pieces per square inch, which it's not actually sand anymore. I think it's probably mostly fake. So we're doing a little bit of shaping for the basic. Now, a lot of people say, well, this isn't, you're not making it the old-fashioned way. I don't make my spoons the old-fashioned way. I can. I've done that in the past. But I got to charge ridiculous amounts of money in order to make anything off of them. So what you're watching is basically the production method. We do one spoon at a time, but they are produced in lots. So in other words, I make one spoon at a time, but it's I do a bunch of them at a time, but there's only one at a time. All right, figure that one out. Okay, did you see that? Did you catch that? Watch this again in slow motion. Check this out. Watch where the arrow points. Bam! Shove my finger right in. This is 60 grit sandpaper, and when you rub up against it, it cuts into the skin very quickly. So you notice I went and put my gloves on. Yeah, I normally wear gloves. That's the normal thing, and I got a little ahead of myself, and now I've got a nice little cut on my finger because of that. Yeah, the sandpaper will cut into it very quickly. Yes, this is sped up and jumped around and stuff. Otherwise, because it takes about 15 minutes to actually do the shaping of a hardwood spoon like this. So that's kind of basically what the basic ideal or the shape of it. This is called a burr or a burr bit. It is made by a company called Kutzall, and they are amazing. I have shaped thousands of things with this little burr, and it never gets dull. It just never gets dull. I have 3 different levels, and so I use this to get the bowl of the spoon out, to shape that bowl, and it does a remarkable job. If I'm doing a redwood spoon, which redwood is a much softer wood than black walnut, it's a couple minutes and the whole thing's done. This one here takes quite a bit longer because the wood is harder. But this eats up the wood like nobody's business. I highly recommend, if you're going to purchase this type of a tool, I highly recommend that you go to Kutzall, spend a few bucks more. This is also Kutzall. This is the second. This is the middle fineness, the next level down, and like I said, I have 3 of them, and the other one is like real fine sandpaper. But this kind of brings out some of the scratches and smooths it out a little bit, and then we start sanding. This is 80 grit sandpaper, There's a ton of sanding, and I'm really breezing through the sanding because that is the majority of the work being done on this spoon is the sanding. We start out with 80 grit sandpaper, and then we go from after we sand the outside body of the spoon, we go into this, and this will sand the inside. And this is a quick way to do it, and it doesn't work for every spoon, but it works for some of them. And then, of course, there's more sanding. So we've went from 80 grit up to 150. This is 150. This is 150 grit. And it really is. There's a ton more sanding involved. So all total time it takes to make this spoon, making one by itself, is a total of about 30 minutes to get it to where I'm happy with it. So we're doing more sanding in the bowl. And we're doing that. We go back to more sanding with it. The reason we do it like this instead of just doing all of it on one part and then going to do the other part is because the outside sanding integrates into the edges of the bowl of the spoon, and it's necessary to keep that process in the proper steps. So we're taking this spoon from 80 grit, or actually from 60 grit all the way up to 800. And end up with a surface that is very much like glass, and that's kind of the point. I love it when people pick up the spoon and are shocked at how smooth it is. It is a selling point, but it also, to me, and then at the finish here, if you're watching this part here, this is hand sanding. Everything gets hand sanded to trim it up to make sure that it's where it needs to be. So we're at 800 now. Go into our Howard's Feed and Wax. I will always recommend this as the ultimate finish for wood. It just does an amazing job. But Howard's Feed and Wax, which is it's beeswax and orange oil, and it just makes a beautiful finish. This is our polishing. This goes. This is at what is it? I believe it is 8,000 RPMs. I can't remember, but ridiculously fast. So you have to be really careful when you're using it. But that sets the wood in really well. And I don't have the best looking after picture video of it because it's dark wood and up close. So you don't really see it the way it's better to hold it. It really is. It's better to hold it. But you don't really see it as good as you'd like to. But it is absolutely stunning. Black walnut is such a beautiful, wonderful piece of wood to work with, and I love working with black walnut. It really does come out, like I said, much better than what you're seeing on the video. So, but hey, if you guys got questions, get a hold of us through our website. I'll be happy to answer your questions. And please like and subscribe this video and pass it along. Repost it for other folks, and we love doing this, and we're going to keep doing this, and thank you so much for hanging out for the last 9 minutes and listening to me jabberjaw about the woodwork. It's a lot of fun. All right, thanks.